Good afternoon. Hello and welcome. Thank you for coming today. It is wonderful to see you all in person and to actually see what people's height is, what they really look like, as opposed to on a Zoom call, which can be quite confusing sometimes. I'm Lynn Hill and I'm chair of the Board of Trustees of ICC. I have known the charity for many years through their cattery schemes, through veterinary practices, cat friendly, and their residency programs in particular. And it has been wonderful to see its growth and expansion into the truly international organisation that it is now. And even our trustees are international, 4 of which live outside the United Kingdom. ICC is recognised widely as a pioneering cat welfare organisation which continues to challenge cruelty, ignorance and misunderstanding of cats in order to effect positive change in their lives. The charity, as many of you know, began in 1958 as a result of owners and breeders being desperate for help for their cats in the United Kingdom. It's hard to imagine how little information there was on the veterinary care of cats in those early days. As we know, they were viewed as small dogs. How could we have got it so wrong? Now, 64 years later, the charity collaborates on cats internationally, and we are extremely proud of our world-leading feline veterinary division, which continues to provide insights into the way we live with cats as owners and caregivers. We campaign for better cat welfare and more recently have become increasingly involved in the welfare of unowned cats, where there is much misunderstanding. Over the course of our history, we've built outstanding relationships with vets, vet nurses, technicians, boarding catteries, breeders, other charities, corporations, volunteers, owners and cat lovers, and continue with them to improve the physical health, mental well-being and the lives of cats everywhere. We may have been a little less visible in the past 2 years, and in addition to dealing with COVID, which has been difficult, iCatCare had a major fire in our offices which kept us out of them for over a year. And I'm very proud to say that the staff adapted amazingly to these difficulties. And I would like to thank them, my fellow trustees, our partners, sponsors and friends who've supported us through these difficulties. As you know, Claire is retiring from ICC later this year. And so it is wonderful that we can all meet up in person to celebrate together her achievements, but more of that later. I am also delighted to welcome here today Nicola Martin, who will be taking over as our new CEO in the summer, and I hope many of you will get to meet her. Today we are celebrating being cat-friendly in a number of different ways, from launching our cat-friendly principles to looking at people's experiences of giving medicines to cats, as well as celebrating 10 years of cat-friendly clinics and our video awards. And lastly, but definitely not least, I'd like to say thank you to our event sponsors, Royal Canin and Linnaeus, and also SIVA for supporting our cat-friendly clinics awards. And now I'm delighted to introduce to you our Patron Lord Black, who has been so supportive of our work and can definitely be called a cat enthusiast.
Very many thanks, Lynn, for all you had to say, and particularly for reminding us how very important the work of international cat care is, and what a huge amount has been achieved for cats and their welfare in the last 64 years. Of course, there's always more to do, but it is a story of huge achievement. It is truly a remarkable and inspiring story, one indeed of large oaks from little acorns. I'm privileged to be a patron of ICAT Care and to do what I can to support its mission, particularly in Parliament, where we have, between us all, raised the profile of feline welfare over the last few years. Inspired by the charity, I am, with my husband, who is also a patron, the proud owner of 3 unowned cats from Italy. One we found abandoned at just a few days old, a tiny, beautiful black kitten, and had to wean him by hand, which, as you will all know, is an interesting experience. 5 years later, Luca, as he is called, is as gorgeous as ever and living in the Italian sunshine. Another one left with us at probably a month old, now at 9 months, graces our life in London. Destino, as he is called, of course, rules the roost and is undoubtedly even now destroying some flowers, which has become his favourite pastime. Now, for me, the great thing about ICAT Care is that it makes all of us think about cats in a different way, holistically, and this is the key, from the cat's point of view. It's about what cats need. That's at the heart of it all. And this, of course, is a great challenge because cats, and this is one of their very fine features, one of very many fine features, also fulfill many of our needs. That in turn inevitably influences our relationship with them, not always to the benefit of the cat. Cats, of course, are also, as we all know, infinitely adaptable, one of their very many charms. But that also brings problems because it means they can survive and breed in even the most difficult circumstances. Population management of unowned cats, as I have seen at first hand, is therefore a real challenge. And appallingly, it is in some parts of the world tackled with unbelievable inhumanity and cruelty. That, of course, is why ICAT Care is so important. And the cat-friendly principles, which Claire will introduce in a moment, move us forward in the way we live and work with and for cats. They're also about how we work with each other for cats, because we all have a moral responsibility to protect cats from physical and mental suffering. With an estimated global population of 600 million cats, half of which are thought to be unowned, humane management is absolutely essential, alongside good veterinary care and owner understanding. And it's not just about our behaviour, but also about the development of legislation and regulation too, which can have a lasting impact on the welfare of cats. And that's why ICAT Care's work has never been more important. We have seen so many successes in the last few years, thanks to their work. So, in closing, I would very much like to say a very quick word about Claire. As Lynn said just now, Claire is retiring later this year, and we'll hear more about that later. But I have had the pleasure for many years now of working closely with Claire and seen up close her exceptional commitment to cats in the UK and worldwide. The skill with which she has led international cat care over so many years, the dedication she has inspired, and the vision she has given to the organisation, which will shape its future for many years to come. All those who love cats have cause to be in great debt to Claire for her unswerving dedication to the cause and the incredible energy and passion with which she's pursued it. Claire, I know we'll still be seeing you, but you will be so much missed. Thank you for all you have done in the most noble of causes, the care of cats. And now indeed, over to you, Claire, for an update and introduce our cat-friendly principles. Thank you very much.
is to be no crying today, okay? Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Guy. How fabulous, everybody said, how wonderful to be out and meeting everybody and seeing them again. And cat people are just great, aren't they? Somebody said, oh, you know, where are the cat people? If people don't like cats, they don't understand what it is that we're all, that was Sheila over there, what it is we're all getting excited about. But we know, and we're here. So we were last here in 2018, and then we've had various things happen in the meantime. We hope we've used the time wisely. We've explored ourselves and what we do. We've developed new ways of helping cats, and we've broadened our collaborations across the world. So we have been pretty busy, and I don't think it's really stopped us doing very much. During our deliberations, we updated our vision and mission statements to recognize that even though our aim is to improve the lives of cats, we do so by enabling people to help cats. And in this way, we can help millions of cats worldwide. So our vision is a cat-friendly world where each cat, owned and unowned, is treated with respect, compassion, and understanding. And how do we do that? By enabling more people to act in a cat-friendly way to improve cat welfare. And I was reading this just before we came on, and I thought, goodness, couldn't we just do that with people, and wouldn't the world be a better place, really? So before we get to our principles, just a little update in some of the areas we work in, just so you can see what we've been up to, really. So looking at cat owners and caregivers, which is where the charity started all those years ago in 1958, because there was just no help for them when their cats became ill. So the charity started by bringing together what information there was, finding more, funding vets to specialize in feline medicine, and really getting the discipline of feline medicine going. And then with that information, there was a lot of stuff in the post. There were newsletters in the post. There were information sheets that actually I think sometimes came back because somebody just borrowed one and sent it back. And they said, when you send it back, can you make sure your cat has not been ill? So we have something that's not very nice when it comes back if it's got a virus. So those were the days. Now, of course, we use our website, publications, social media to reach a much wider audience. And millions of people use our website. Interestingly, the most popular page looks at cat life stages and compares cat age to human age. It was developed as part of our Cat Care for Life program, and it has proved a great tool to engage people in understanding cat health and well-being. It's also gratifying to know that the second most popular page is about thinking people actually doing something before they get a cat, which is pretty amazing. We'd love them to do that. Hopefully, they're helped along the way and make a better decision about what they do. And we get messages every day from people who've been able to look up, say, the diseases that their cats, that their vets have diagnosed, and been able to take some time to read it and read information they know is reliable and hopefully helpful. Now, in the past couple of years, we've been custodians of International Cat Day, which is something new for us. This year, the theme is cat-friendly resources. So all cats have common needs: food, water, a safe place to rest, sleep, and feel secluded, somewhere to toilet, opportunity to communicate through scratching and facial rubbing, an opportunity for predatory behaviors, even if that is play. You've got to remember that for later on as well. So for those cats that we care for, in our homes or elsewhere, providing resources that support these key needs is fundamental to being cat-friendly. International Cat Day 2022 is about delving into the detail of cat-friendly resources. So August the 8th, have a watch and see what we come up with. It should be interesting. So the next area is ISFM, so the International Society of Feline Medicine, which is our veterinary division, which is about 25 years old now. I still think it's the baby of everything, but actually I think we've moved into mainstream by now. We continue to grow it, meeting the demands for increasing cat care around the world. More people are keeping cats and wanting good veterinary care for their cats. So here's a few highlights. We reach 10,000 vets and over 15,000 nurses every month in 116 countries. Because of the pandemic, we know pre-pandemic we ran a European conference and an Asia-Pac conference where we went and met the people. Obviously, during lockdown, that was not possible. And our staff adapted amazingly to suddenly finding out how to run a virtual congress in about 2 months and getting it set up, persuading all the speakers to record everything and getting it all going. So that was an amazing turnaround. So we've done that for 2 years. So last year we reached 3,500 vets in 96 countries. We usually have around 500 at the in-person one. And this year we're going back to in-person, but using that material to produce a virtual congress as well, because we realized we could reach so much further. The number of countries, people that came from little islands in the middle of the Pacific, who probably had never had very much on cats before. So we want to continue to reach them. And we realize that in many countries, feline medicine is not covered in the veterinary curriculum. It hasn't been important to them, but people are keeping more pets, therefore more care is needed. So we hope we help those vets and they'll be able to access us to help those cats. So our aim to support better veterinary care for cats is led by our Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery, which is over 20 years old now as well and has developed into the most wonderful publication. It's got a unique approach in that it publishes not just research, but also we commission practical clinical articles aimed at veterinary practitioners in their day-to-day work. And this is where we as owners and our cats benefit directly. Last year, there were over 1 million article downloads from JFMS, which I'm still sort of trying to get my head around, really. So that's absolutely fantastic. If you don't know the journal, we've got some on one of our tables you can have a look at just to see what it's like. And we're very lucky in that we have the help of veterinary experts worldwide who are passionate about cats, as some of these cat people, the same as us. And they're very keen to work with us. So Sam, who you'll see later, works on guidelines where we feel there's a need for a pragmatic and up-to-date information on a certain topic. So recently we've done blood transfusions in cats and the management of acute pain. And this summer we'll publish guidelines on what can be done to help cats that don't want to eat because of disease, trauma, pain, stress, or likely a combination of all these. And these basics are really, really important. So alongside the guidelines, we also then provide information for owners and caregivers as well. So we hope we're covering the whole spectrum. We're also delighted to announce that JFMS is actually going open access in January 2023. So at the moment, it goes to our members and libraries and those sort of outlets. But from January 2023, it will be freely available to everybody, to vets all around the world. It may sound simple, that's a great thing to do, but actually it requires a great deal of reorganization in the charity. It needs a whole new financial plan because it's very different, and with our publisher Sage as well. But we are really looking forward to broadening the readership of JFMS so that the content can be used even more widely. And before moving on to unowned cats, I just wanted to comment that nothing fits just in one box. We have slides about different aspects of our work. But vets are central to humane population management. Without them, at the moment, there is only surgical neutering, the only permanent way to prevent reproduction. And we know with the rising numbers of unowned cats around the world that rising numbers means more suffering and more inhumane methods of control. So it's all part of a bigger picture of cat welfare within which vets have a vital role to play. So we can move on to unowned cats now. So in 2020, in December, at the end of 2020, we launched a huge new part of our website called Cat-Friendly Solutions for Unowned Cats. It's not very snappy, but it does what it says on the tin, I think. So that's for those undertaking trap, neuter, release programs and to introduce our cat-friendly hobing program. We developed several new courses to go with this, a short online course and a 20-week personally tutored course which helps people put cat-friendly homing into action. I'd like to thank a few people here, Pet Plan Charitable Trust, for the support for developing the website and the courses. We're that really helped us along. Thanks to Mars Pet Care and also the Million Pet Challenge in the US, Protect Pet and SIVA, because thanks to them we've been able to give bursaries for people to do the 20-week course. Our newsletter for those working with unowned cats now reaches 1,000 organisations in 67 countries. The welfare of unowned cats is a huge issue worldwide. It is an area where so many mistakes can be made through lack of knowledge and experience, and where good understanding can dramatically improve cat welfare. So taking this sector seriously, and the people within it seriously, as much as we do the other sectors we work in, is important. Making the same efforts to find pragmatic and humane solutions can have a massive effect. It is an area of accelerated learning at the moment, and more research is becoming available. I was with FAB in the 1980s and 90s, and that was a time when so many diseases came to the fore. It was a time when every week something new was found. And I feel that we're sort of like that with the unowned cat side of things. However, it's not just about science, it's about people. And that brings a complexity and emotionality which makes the whole area quite difficult, to say the least. The sector can't be looked at in isolation. We need the help of the veterinary profession, the community, researchers, lawmakers, to ensure that the growing popularity of pet cats does not result in more unowned cats because lack of good population management policies. This isn't limited to unowned cats. The neutering of pet cats and preventing abandonment is vital to stemming the flow of cats from owned to unowned. So rather than being the Cinderella area of cat welfare, the problems of unowned cats will bring into focus how we keep all cats and make us see the bigger picture. I'd like to say another thank you to a vet called Tony Welsh, who left us a legacy which has enabled us to form the Tony Welsh Educational Fund, which will be used to develop further resources for unowned cats. Recently, we've initiated, and I'll smile at Vicky wherever she is, an international group to discuss unowned cats. It means Zooming at 11 o'clock at night because that's the only time we can talk to America and New Zealand and Australia and Hong Kong and all those places. But what a great thing it is to do, to hear how people are dealing with it, to hear the common problems, the things that people want to tackle. So it's very exciting, and we have to do that. We have to understand the problems everywhere. So, on to cat-friendly principles. We've always been a difficult charity to put neatly in a box with a snappy sentence to explain about our work in the veterinary sector with owners and caregivers and those working with unowned cats on such a wide range of subjects. So over the past 2 years, we've really been thinking and taking the time to try and articulate what we have instinctively done over those years in our approach to cats. So the resulting cat-friendly principles, we had to write down what it is. Come on, everybody, empty your brains, and what are these cat-friendly principles? And actually, when we sat down to do it, it was pretty easy to do, and we all agreed on it, which was rather nice. So they consider cats, and they consider how we work with people. And we're very excited to be launching them today. We're also working on some papers which take different areas in which we work, so veterinary profession, unowned cats, breeders, and putting down on paper what it means in those areas to be cat friendly, and those will follow. So here we go, number 1, respect cats. Respect the diversity of the species and understand the individual. That's a short sentence, but actually it's highly complex, and this is the big one that sets the scene. As a species, cats are obligate carnivores. They're both predators and prey. They're definitely not small dogs. When we did our Cat Care for Life program, we outlined 6 life stages to help us understand their needs. And if you remember earlier, we talked about those basic needs with cats: food, water, and all the rest of it, and that comes into it as well. But of course, additional complexity comes in understanding how cats interact with people and what influences this, and the diversity of lifestyles of the cats we're trying to help. So to sum up, a cat is a pet which curls up on your lap, and every cat should have such a life. And how lovely if pet and owner enjoy such a life together. But remember that over the half the cats in the world are not used to such a lifestyle and may never fit into it. In reality, there are a range of lifestyles which cats are adapted to and which we must respect in trying to find the best way to meet their needs or the way we approach how we care for them. We have developed this, we love this picture, a pictorial representation of this spectrum, which includes, on the far side, the feral cat, the street cat, the pet cat, and the little quiet one hunched down in the middle we have called an in-betweener, a cat which is not quite adapted to street living, but does not want to live as closely to people as we would expect of a pet cat. In-betweeners often end up in homing centres and can be challenging to help. They may need creative alternative lifestyles to suit their needs. When we explain the in-betweener to people, many people go, gosh, I've had one of those, and they recognize them. So if you want to know more, it is all on our website. Lots more detail about in-betweeners, and we're producing a paper on them as well. So we're respecting diversity and the individual cat. So the next one, number 2, keep cats well. And, you know, that sounds pretty obvious, doesn't it? But when we began as the Feline Advisory Bureau all those years ago, those scales were tipped to physical health because that was the biggest need. And over the years, we have learnt that it's not just physical health that's important in keeping our cats well. Mental well-being really plays a large part, so that holistic approach to health is vital for cats in all that we do. And we need to give equal consideration to both physical and mental well-being. Examples of that we've already incorporated, for example, the Cat Friendly Clinic program, which you'll hear some more about, recognises the need to reduce stress in the veterinary situation because stress affects not only the cat's behaviour there, but many of the physiological parameters which we need to treat them properly. Homing centres understand that stress can manifest in increased disease. Our own pet cats may be unwell or exhibit what we consider to be behaviour problems because they find aspects of their life stressful. We can influence how comfortable cats will be around people when we breed and bring up kittens, so they are more likely to be happy and healthy pets. And something we'll come to in a moment, by understanding the difficulties in medicating cats, we can develop products which are easy to give, and we can improve the health and reduce the stress of both cats and owners, because I'm no good at giving my cat tablets. So it is one of those areas that's very difficult, and Sam will have something more to say on that in a minute. So number 3, do cats no harm? That sounds pretty obvious, really, doesn't it? And things like cruelty or causing deliberate harm, well, they're easy to slot into this principle. But there are more subtle things to consider. We know that some breeds of cat suffer because of extreme conformation or to achieve certain looks. Here you've got a picture of a joint campaign we did with BVA looking at the Scottish fold cat with its folded ears, which then has problems has arthritic problems in many of its joints. And also the very flat-faced cats as well. And of course, our advertising, not our advertising, but much advertising around the world uses these cats because they're unusual and drives people's interest in them. And it can also be things which we don't do, which cause harm. Failing to recognize and treat illness or pain, the cat on the top there is in pain. Failure to recognize and relieve distress. Failure to understand the individual needs of cats in homing centres that can lead to long-term confinement and the consequences of this. So much of the work we do and the information we try to provide aims to support people to be able to recognize and manage these issues. For example, the recognition of pain. It's not easy. We're not saying it's easy. All these cats try and make it as difficult as possible for us by not showing anything at all, really. So we just need to learn how to do that. And once you know, you can spot it. Probably not doing things is equally as bad sometimes as doing things. So the next 4 principles relate to how we work with people. So number 4, be solution-driven. We've always tried to be pragmatic. We've always tried to find ways that are sustainable. And we take research and expertise and try and make it to something relevant for those who may need to use it. And to learn, it's not just us, learn from people's experiences. There's a lot of two-way traffic in the learning. So examples would be our cat-friendly clinic program and cat-friendly solutions for unowned cats. Communicate for cats, number 5. Well, we were called the Feline Advisory Bureau, so you'd like to think we could probably communicate for cats. So it's always been central to achieving our aims. And I suppose even more now, we understand the need to communicate professionally, non-judgmentally and respectfully, with information tailored to all the different audiences we work with, and to develop good working relationships and sharing of knowledge in both directions. And I suppose from my years of working with cat people, they are very generous with their knowledge. They don't hide it. They don't try and get one-upmanship because they know more than others. Everybody has always been very generous in sharing what they do, and I think that's been part of the joy of it over the years. Number 6, collaborate for cats. So, as a small UK charity started by non-vets, early collaboration with the veterinary profession was vital, and we were supported by both BSAVA and Animal Health Trust a lot at the beginning, and we had no money whatsoever, so every bit of help was gratefully received. Now, with an international remit, we need to collaborate more than ever. We have formal collaborations. For example, we share our journal with the American Association of Feline Practitioners, and it is all the stronger for both societies having an input into it. We are active members of the International Companion Animal Management Coalition and the Alliance for Contraception in Cats and Dogs. And of course, in the UK we work, there's many people here who work with us. We all work together on the cat group and share experiences and problems and think about what we might want to tackle next. So we collaborate with many different organizations and sponsors worldwide. We know that working together for common goals strengthens key messages and enhances their dissemination. So the very last one, evolve for cats. Research and expertise is constantly growing, and new learnings may provide more effective solutions. Over the years, we hope we have been innovative, are always learning and sharing our passion for helping cats, and this will continue long into the future. Like cats, we remain ever curious. So here are all the principles together. And we hope they fit very well with our vision and mission as well. They will guide us, and we hope they may help others to navigate some of the tricky cat dilemmas which face us all every day. Cats may be the darlings of the internet, but figuring them out is still a mystery to many. Right, enough from me. I'm looking at Sam. I'm going to hand over to Sam Taylor, who coordinates our veterinary expert panel and our guidelines, and has been involved in a recent publication with Sarah Caney, and many of you will know these names, and Danielle Gunmore, both, as was Sam, funded previously by the Feline Advisory Bureau at Bristol Vet School to specialise in feline medicine, and we love still having them with us and working with us. The survey illustrates several cat-friendly principles: understanding the species, being pragmatic, providing sustainable solutions. Developing medicines for cats is one thing, but actually making medicines which are easy to give is another. And we collaborate with our industry partners to try and make this a reality. So that's what we've been up to. I'm going to hand over to Sam to tell you a little bit more about that. Thank you.
See anyone with this big light here. Thank you very much, Claire. It's fabulous to be involved in this amazing event and be together again, although it's a bit weird, isn't it? And I agree with Lynn, some people are much taller than they look on Zoom. So I'm really pleased to be here today also because my clinic where I work, Lumbury Park, is one of the finalists, and I've got my colleagues here today, so it's really lovely to be part of this event. Now, I agree with Claire that it's difficult to give medications to cats, and I've been a feline specialist for 10 years now, and I still find it quite difficult to medicate my cats. I think a lot of vets and nurses would probably say the same. So we knew this, but we wanted to get some evidence about it. We wanted to look at it a little bit more. How bad is it? How difficult is it? Or were we wrong? And actually, you guys find it really, really easy to pop tablets in your cats. So myself, Sarah Caney, Danielle Gilmore, helped by Claire, we looked more closely at this problem with a large international survey, and many of you helped me distribute it, so thank you for that. We had a really amazing response. People wanted to tell us, they really wanted to tell us how difficult they found it. And the vast majority of owners confirmed what we thought. They found medicating their cats orally difficult. They reported that tablet that you find behind the sofa stuck to something. They reported chasing their cat around the house to try and catch them. And really worryingly, nearly 80% of them reported that their cats had tried to bite or scratch them. And that's really serious as far as human health. Owners found information given by their veterinary clinic really, really useful, but they weren't always given it. So we were alarmed by how many times people wanted that information, but it was not, in many cases, provided. When they were given that information, 92% of them found it very, very useful. And that really stresses the importance of us helping our clients, helping our cat owners and caregivers, perhaps with information online. Obviously, we know websites like the International Cat Care website has this information. Difficulty medicating cats has really wide-reaching implications in terms of antibiotic resistance, preventative health care or lack of it, as well as simply recovery from illness. But what we really found in this study was also damage to the cat and owner bond. So on this slide, you can see a variety of issues that our owners reported to us, including over 80% spitting out the tablet, so the tablet you find behind the sofa. Over 70% would not eat medication in food, which is the logical thing that people try. And when that fails, they're a bit lost of what to do next. And as I mentioned, over half of owners found that medicating their cat had damaged their relationship. We all love our cats, and how upsetting is it if you attempt to medicate them and the next time they see you, all you hear is the cat flap shutting as the cat runs out the door into the garden. Now, this is an area that International Cat Care has been working with for actually some years. So in 2005, we launched our Easy to Give Awards to recognise some of the efforts that pharmaceutical companies were making in medicating cats easier. And we used to be involved in sort of testing these drugs and seeing which one was actually cat-friendly and was actually easy to give. And the Easy to Give Awards are limited to prescription-only medicines. And actually, we have awarded 50 since that time in 2005. Whether manufacturers provide drugs in a palatable form or introduce a new mode of application, we welcome all this innovation to make our lives as cat owners easier and as vets easier. Proper compliance with prescribed doses is really vital for the safe and effective use of drugs. And without such help, owners fail to complete the courses and they leave the cats without the medication that they need. So the Easy to Give Awards have been a really important solution to that. We've also had cat-friendly awards, where International Cat Care recognises products which have made a real difference to cat well-being and welfare. And since 2013, we've made 25 cat-friendly products awards across a whole variety of different product categories. Now, we wanted to look a little bit more closely at these schemes. So in 2021, we sort of closed these schemes to applications so that we could review our assessment processes and how are we going to give these awards, how are we going to license it. But I'm really pleased to say that we'll be reopening them later this year. So we found that owners found it very difficult to medicate their cats, but there is hope, and we want to work with these companies to find solutions to these problems, as well as vets working with our owners and caregivers for the benefit of cats. So now I'd like to hand over to Nat for a really important part of the event, to tell us about our cat-friendly clinic program, but importantly, announce the winners of our Cat Friendly Clinic Awards. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, thanks Sam for that. So I'm going to be carrying on at the afternoon proceedings and really celebrating 10 years of Cat Friendly Clinic, which is a fantastic achievement. And part of that we will be awarding the winners for our Cat Friendly Clinic competition. And I'm delighted to say all of the finalists are attending with us today. So thank you so much for making the effort to be here. We decided to run a competition for celebrating the 10-year anniversary because Cat Friendly Clinic actually started life as a competition. When we look back, FAB, as it was known then, in the early 2000s, Claire's already alluded to the collaborations that we've had with many feline specialists over the years. Well, they had a group of them together at a table, round table discussion, and they asked the question to them, what do we need to do to further improve the veterinary care of cats? And actually what came out of that discussion was that we need a better understanding of what cats' needs are. We need to have a reduction in stress around the visit to the vet clinic, and we also need to have better handling. And so from that meeting, a list of bullet points was created with a title called Cat Friendly Practice. And further discussions out of that meeting led to what was the development of the Cat Friendly Clinic program in its early years. So a small sort of booklet was created outlining the ethos of Cat Friendly Practice with lots of suggestions and tips from these sort of group of experts around the table. And then a competition was launched around the UK. And many of our FAB residents were out and about in little pink cars judging these clinics and assessing the competition entrants. And as you can imagine, we had a lot of applications. There were a lot of really fantastic ideas from the veterinary profession around the UK. And it resulted then in an event like today in London where we announced the winners of these awards. Those that arrived and were winning their awards received a certificate and logos that they could sort of use to promote their cat-friendly status. But all competitions must come to an end. And so that then led us in 2012 to develop the Cat Friendly Clinic program as a more official accreditation scheme. And we aligned it with the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeon Practice Standards, taking all of the fantastic ideas that have been created through the competition, bringing them all together and creating a sort of gold and silver level accreditation. So we rolled that out in 2012. And the ambition was always to make it a worldwide program, not just UK-based. And so with the help of Purina sponsoring the program, by the end of 2012, we had 47 clinics in 4 different European countries accredited. In 2013, this had grown to 123 clinics in 9 different countries, including Australia. And then in 2014, gosh, I'm really losing time at the moment, we introduced a bronze level accreditation at that stage. And so that really enabled practices that maybe were mobile clinics or were smaller branch clinics that didn't really hospitalise patients, they were consulting only, to also be able to apply for a cat-friendly clinic status. And the growth continued. We'd reached over 250 clinics in 20 different countries, including China and Japan, by the end of 2014. In 2015, we were at 500 clinics. And at 2016, we'd accredited over 700 clinics. And also in 2016, we made some changes to our logo and updated it to the current version that we use today. In 2017, our numbers continued to grow, and by the end of 2017, we were in 30 countries, including Europe, Asia, and Australasia. In 2018, we'd accredited over 1,000 clinics by the year end, and in 2019, the growth continued. Even in 2020, despite the pandemic, we had reached over 2,000 clinics in 40 different countries. In 2021, there was quite a lot of celebrating for us internally when we actually accredited a clinic in Madagascar. And my plans for Lemur-friendly clinics still haven't quite gotten off the ground, but I have hope that one day. So that leads us to where we are today in 2022. And again, there was quite a lot of celebrating at the beginning of this year when we accredited our first clinic in Russia. Sadly, that's been slightly overshadowed by current events in the news. But as of Monday, including our April accreditations, we've now got 2,664 clinics that have been accredited in the last 10 years. And that's not forgetting our relationship with AAFP. We licensed the program to the American Association of Feline Practitioners, and over the last 10 years they've accredited or certified over 1,000 clinics in both North America, Central America and South America. So that's really the first 10 years of Cat Friendly Clinic, but it's really been a nice period of reflection for us, looking back at the first 10 years and then also looking at what the next 10 years is going to hold. So the Cat Friendly Clinic program itself has had a wider impact than just on the clinics that we accredit and the patients that those clinics see. In terms, the use of the term cat friendly itself has just grown substantially in the last 10 years. And it's not all just from stuff written by us, it's being used more widely in the veterinary lexicon. We're currently updating some of our guidelines and the volume of supporting literature that we now have available compared to sort of 10 years ago is just massive. It's fantastic. We now actually have really strong evidence against some of our long-held positions, say the example of scruffing of cats. You know, we've always had a strong position against scruffing of cats as an organisation. We actually now have really good scientific proof to be able to say, no, this shouldn't be going on. And we're also growing a body of evidence that's really showing the value of taking a cat-friendly approach. And we're also bringing other species along with us as well. The rabbit-friendly vet list has been created by the Rabbit Welfare Association and Fund, and they've really sort of followed our lead in creating a better experience for rabbits at the vet clinic. And as of this year, dogs are finally catching up with us as well. So the Dog Friendly Clinic has been launched this year from Dogs Trust and the British Veterinary Behaviour Association. So it's really fantastic to see that other organisations are really recognising and valuing that need to sort of understand the species-specific behaviour and how we need to adapt it for that sort of veterinary experience to ensure that we're doing the best for all our patients. So, what do the next 10 years hold? Well, we're currently doing quite a lot of internal work, most of it's sort of admin really, which is falling to my wonderful colleague Sarah Collins, and she's updating and making the process of applying to become a cat-friendly clinic just a lot more streamlined and smooth, and we're trying to make it as user-friendly as possible because for many of the clinics that we're accrediting, English is not their first language, so we're trying to make that process as straightforward as we can. We're also going to be launching cat-friendly CPD to all members of the clinic team so that from the time that they become accredited, their cat-friendly journey doesn't end, that they're continuing to grow and develop their skills across the whole team, not just the advocates that may have started the process to get their clinic accredited, but across all staff that work in that vet clinic. We're going to be introducing preventative health protocols as part of the accreditation process. And as a wider charity, we're also working on developing cat-friendly micro-learnings with the idea of turning these into micro-accreditations in the future. And also in 2023, we are launching our slightly updated logo. It's not a big change, but it's just bringing it more in line with our logos across the brand of the charity. So I'd really like to thank and acknowledge all of our partners over the years. Without them, for a start, Cat Friendly Clinic probably wouldn't still exist, and it definitely would not be the successful program that it's been in the last 10 years. So a massive thank you to all of the partners that have supported us with this. And now we're going to get on to the awards part of the ceremony. So we're going to be announcing the winners of the Cat Friendly Clinic competition. We've really enjoyed seeing all the videos as they came in. It's really helped us understand that things that when we first developed Cat Friendly Clinic, and these were the ideas that were seen as really new and innovative, have actually really become sort of more mainstream within many clinics, which is fantastic. And then the finalists that we have with us are all going above and beyond and doing something really interesting and special within their clinics. And it really can be only benefiting cats that all of these sort of ideas are sort of coming together. So I'd like to invite Dr. Sarah Endersby up to the stage on behalf of SEVA, and they have sponsored the competition, so thank you very much, SEVA, for that. And Sarah is going to be doing the presenting of the awards for us. So first of all, we have the finalists for the procedural change category. I think we've got a little video to play on that one. winner is, it is DAP DeWitt Rafe. If you could please come up to the stage. And we're now going to have the finalists for the physical change category. And the winner for physical change is Orchid Vets. As I said earlier, all our finalists are here today, so I'd like to ask them when we've finished the proceedings to join us at the side of the stage so they can receive their finalist awards, and we'll also take some photos of everyone then as well. So I think next we just have a little video message from our cat-friendly clinic celebrating our 10-year anniversary.
Happy birthday!
Happy 10th anniversary!
Šťastné 10. výročie. Happy 10th anniversary.
Feliz 10º aniversario.
Happy 10th birthday from a cat-friendly clinic.
Happy 10th anniversary to the cat-friendly clinic. Feliz 10º aniversario. Happy 10th anniversary to you all.
Happy birthday, cat-friendly clinic program.
Happy birthday, cat-friendly clinic.
Happy 10th birthday, cat-friendly clinic.
And then to close events, I'd just like to welcome Lynn Hill back to the stage.
First of all, just to thank you all for coming. Hope you've enjoyed hearing what we've been up to in the last couple of years in our unvisual or invisible time that we've had. I hope you'll all stay on after this to have some more drink, chat, and catch up with people. But as I said, before we go, I wanted to say a few words about Claire. Claire, as you know, will be leaving us later this year, and the trustees and the staff will be doing something in our own way in the summer to say adieu to her. However, this is our opportunity, when everyone is here, to say thank you to that very special person that Claire is. She's been at the forefront of improving cats' lives for many, many years, and it is her abiding passion. She has been the CEO who has taken the organisation forward into the internationally recognised charity that it is today. From the years of being fab to the brand of today, recognised by vets, nurses, breeders, cattery owners and users and the general public as a place to go which gives reliable, scientific-based information that can be relied on. The growth has been astounding, and this has been driven by the vision and ethos of Claire to make a real difference to the lives of cats, and who could argue with that? Claire is self-effacing as to her contribution to cats' health and welfare, and I think that we would all agree that ICC would not be the highly regarded organisation it is without her at the helm. I want to remind us all about some of the things that she has done and led. She is a respected ambassador for the charity. She has written many books on her favourite subject about cats, which have been all well received and have added to the knowledge base. She has made significant international impact and an influence on cat welfare over 28 years of service, showing her determination, commitment and zeal to the cause. She has played a very significant role in raising the status of cats as a species worldwide and catalysing an international body of science on feline medicine and surgery, making significant change in the veterinary profession on how they treat cats. And this is very much on the back of her forward-thinking and supportive funding of 58 postdoctoral posts at UK vet schools to pump prime research in feline medicine. Her realisation of the need for scientific research to base information on for the veterinary profession, as well as the public, led to the creation of the Journal for Feline Medicine 25 years ago. We should remember that prior to this, only 3 papers on feline health per year came out, and now there are over 1,200 pages per year in our own journal alone. Claire has led to the creation of the International Society of Feline Medicine over 20 years ago, becoming the veterinary profession's go-to membership organisation dedicated to feline health and welfare, with over 5,000 veterinary members in 116 countries. Launching cat-friendly clinics, as we've just heard, about 10 years ago, with over 30% of small animal veterinary practices in the UK members, has aimed at reducing the stress for cats, owners and vets for visits to the vets. And recently, while in Australia and taking my daughter's cat to the vet, I was delighted to see the logo on the door. Personally, I have greatly enjoyed working with ICC over the years, and in particular closely with Claire since becoming chair of the trustees. And I will greatly miss her sense of humour, her sense of what is right, and her common sense when dealing with issues, and we've had quite a few to deal with in the last couple of years. So on behalf of everyone here, the trustees and staff of ICC, a very warm thank you, Claire, for all your work over the years, putting your favourite animal on the page for many organisations when they hadn't considered cats properly before, for definitely improving the lives of cats in catteries and when going to the vets, and for improving the education of the veterinary profession and for educating the public. We all wish you well in whatever you're going to do in the future, and I know that we'll stay very much in touch with you. Thank you.
fine. No crying, just a tiny bit, not too much. Thank you, everybody. I didn't know they were going to do this, so I was quite happily sitting there thinking it was all over. I've worked with so many fantastic people. We were so tiny when we started. You know, it can't be done by one person, but the goodwill of all the CAT people, all the people we funded, everybody, even in the pharmaceutical companies, when you think sometimes it's all about money, you know, there are so many people within those who love their cats and want to do best for their cats, and we worked very well with them over the years. Just everybody, thank you very much. I'm not going to go on about it because I don't like doing this. So thank you. Thank you for being great friends. Thank you for making it happen. Thank you for your generosity of time, of minds, of knowledge, and you know, everybody here is a giver to cats, and it couldn't be done without you because we're only little and we don't actually have that much money. So that's just a subtle hint for the people coming after me. So thank you again, and I hope we'll stay in touch. I hope I might do a little bit of freelance work and keep in touch with everybody. So, and we will anyway because we've become friends over many years. So thank you very much.